Shalom. First and foremost, as always, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles at Great Millstone, who taught me his truth, and a sincere shalom to the elect out there teaching his truth in all honesty and sincerity in these last days. Okay? And the Spirit had Apostle Gabar go on a health kick as well as other brothers, and made a very good, informative video. Okay, the other day it was titled "Don't Wait, Do It Now," and one of the things that caught my eye, made me laugh a little bit, was he mentioned walking, and he mentioned Thomas DeLauer, okay, who's one of the top keto guys out there, and he's big on fasting and walking, okay, and it was funny because right after, I was about halfway watching his video, he mentioned it, and right after he mentioned it, Thomas DeLauer, whose channel I watch pretty frequently, just posted a video about walking. Okay? So that's a spiritual sign, man. Okay? Yes, there are a lot of health benefits about walking, but this isn't just about walking, okay? This video, this is pretty much a response. Just a general response to health and taking care of the body. Okay, because I've been on a health kick for a little while. I lost about 40 pounds, okay, and I put on a few pounds of muscle. But walking, he's right when he says that walking is more than likely the best exercise you can do. Okay, and there have been a number of studies that have come out recently that proves that walking is better than jogging. Okay, because it's less stress on your spine, it's less stress on your organs, and when you jog for an extended period of time, okay, your body releases something called cortisol, which is a stress hormone. Okay, so it stresses your body out, which you don't want cortisol, man. You don't want cortisol, okay? Because that's a big dagger in your progress, man. You could be doing everything right, but if your cortisol levels are high, okay, which your body creates cortisol from being stressed out, and we all know about the impacts that stress has on your body, okay? But when your cortisol levels are high, okay, you could be doing everything right. You could be eating right. You could be exercising the right way. You could be fasting, and it will not, okay? And it will throw your body off balance, and you won't really be able to metabolize fat like that if you're trying to lose weight, okay? Stress throws your whole body off, man. And we need to work on managing that, because, hey, we get vexed a lot living in this kingdom, okay? Just the things we see on the news feeds can be quite disturbing. I mean, these elites, they're coming out in the open with this pedophilia shit, man. All right, they're rubbing it in everybody's faces, and ain't nobody going to jail for it. Okay, but hey, it's time when the Most High, okay, is going to start bringing judgment on these wicked elite Edomites, man. Okay, because of that shit. But that's vexing, you got the alphabet people, and just everything in general, man. But I just want to mention this. One of the most wicked devices or instruments that Esau came up with is processed foods, okay? That's one of his best forms of control. He puts things in the food and in the water that makes you docile, that makes you confused, that makes you moody, okay, that makes you weak and destroys your immune system. So I'm going to say this, getting back into the health. The first thing and the most important thing that you need to do to get your health back on track, okay, is to stop eating the processed food, man. Stop eating that shit. Stop putting it in your body. Okay? Just fucking quit. Stop buying all the sugary drinks. Okay? If you're one of them brothers that buys them sugary drinks. Okay? Stop eating the takeout food. No, Chipotle is not fucking good for you. Okay? Because I see that on the comment boards all the time. You go watch a video about healthy eating, and everybody's always talking about Chipotle. Chipotle is not fucking good for you, man. Okay, they put a lot of seed oils in their shit. Stay away from fried foods. Fried foods, man, that's just as bad, if not worse, than sugar. Because most of the time when you're getting fried foods, it's got breading on it or processed carbs. Okay? And deep frying food changes the whole molecular structure of the food. It literally turns into a frankenfood. Okay? It changes the fatty acid structure. And most places, when you're buying when you're buying something, and you get it deep fried, okay, they're frying it in soybean oil, because that's all vegetable oil is these days, is soybean oil. Not that canola oil is much better, not that peanut oil is much better, okay, but 99% of the time when you go to a place, it's going to be soybean oil, or at least like 50% soybean oil, or 60 or 70%. Okay? Now you tell me why China, one of the biggest enemies of the United States, can you tell me why they've been selling soybeans as cheap as possible to the United States for the past 25 years? It's because they're trying to emasculate the men and destroy their health. Okay? And it's also bad for women. It throws their periods off. Okay? It changes their hormone balance so that they start growing mustaches. Okay? It promotes fat storage. It damages the eyes, fried food. Okay? And it does it in such a way that it's almost irreversible. And let me say this about brothers that are on a health kick. Okay? Keep it up, man. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to go on a health kick for 2 months, maybe 3 months, and completely reverse all the shit we've done to our bodies. Especially if you've been in this flesh for a while, man. You're not going to eat like shit for 30 fucking years and then change it all around in a couple months. That's not how it works, man. Okay? That's not how it works. Okay, and we have to remember, like the scriptures say, remember the old paths. Alright, remember the old paths, like it says in Jeremiah 6:16. A lot of the foods that we eat now simply did not exist when that was written. Okay? They simply did not exist. Okay, so if it didn't exist, then why should you be putting it in your body? Why should you be putting it in your body? And if you're a brother who has a problem with patience and dealing with people, man, you just don't have the patience to deal with people, okay? The first thing that I would say is to cut all the extra fucking sugar out, man. Because that's what's causing it. The scriptures talk about being hasty to anger. Well, that's one of the weapons that Esau has utilized, is that sugar to make you hasty to anger, man. Okay, it makes you emotional. It makes you quick on judgment. Okay, but not in the good sense. When you start, I'm not saying, now I've been on keto for a couple months. Okay, and last year I started meat and fruit. Because meat and fruit is good if you're trying to build up your organs. Okay, like your kidneys and your liver and your stomach, things like that. Because a lot of vegetables are hard to digest. So if you're coming from a completely destroyed state and you're eating a lot of fried foods, then you might want to start off with meat and fruit until your body heals itself. And then start taking the various herbs to rebuild. Okay, and to strengthen, to rejuvenate the body. Like black seed oil, like Shilajit. Okay? Your parsley and your cilantro and so forth, and they're best taken together. All right, they're best taken together. But yeah, one of the most successful weapons that Esau Edom has come out with has been processed foods, man. Especially putting sugar to everything. Even the fruits that we eat now have a lot more sugar than they used to have. Okay. Now, what's going to happen is when you cut down on the sugar, especially if you damn near eliminate it, and you fast frequently, intermittent fast frequently, okay? Now, before we get into intermittent fasting, I do want to say this. Okay, Apostle Gabar did make mention that, he doesn't do it. He tries to do it like 6 days a week, okay? And on camp days, he has an off day. That's actually a good thing. It's actually a good thing because when you fast too consistently, okay, it lowers your overall metabolism and your body gets adjusted to the fasting. So it's actually good not to intermittent fast every single day. Okay, it's good to give your body a break for a day or two or whatever every now and then. Okay, to reset your tolerance to fasting and to because fasting is taxing on the body. Okay, there's usually a good and a bad side to everything. Okay, but one of the biggest things that you could do, and the first and foremost, the most important, is to stop eating all that fucking shitty processed foods, man. Okay? If you find yourself a majority of the time, your meals are coming not from your kitchen, okay, or from a kitchen, okay, then you're being thrown off, man. And when I mean a kitchen, I mean, something that doesn't add all that extra crap. Because restaurants, they add a lot of that extra crap, man. Preservatives, so on and so forth. When they do get something healthy on their menu, they don't get the best sources. Okay, they get the cheapest sources to where their customers won't bitch. Okay? They usually get their shit from a corporation and it comes in bags. And all kinds of preservatives to keep the shelf life. So you really don't want to do that, man. You don't really want to be eating out. Okay? And another thing it's going to do is it's going to save you a lot of money. Okay? Take the amount of times that you eat per week and take an average of the meal. Average cost of the meal. And then multiply it by like 4.5. Okay, because there's about 4.5 weeks in a month. And multiply it by 4.5. And that's how much you're spending a month on crap that's doing nothing but harming you. Okay? And then think about how much money you'll be saving. Okay? So there's a lot of benefits to not eating that crap. Okay? The takeout society, the DoorDash society, man. Those are things of the world. We really shouldn't even be partaking in that. But I'm guilty of it in the past. Okay? But now's the time when brothers should be pushing forward and not looking back, man. Okay? The Spirit is elevating certain brothers, man. Okay? But yeah, eliminating the processed foods. And another thing is they put a lot of things in these processed foods that make you hungry. Okay, so you want to eat all the time. And if you stop eating those processed foods, okay, and you start with the intermittent fasting, which intermittent fasting reduces a hormone called leptin Okay, your body creates a hormone called leptin, which reduces your hunger cravings. Okay, and then you stop eating the processed food, and then I'm not saying you got to do keto because it's not for everybody. But if you have insulin resistance and you store a lot of fat in your gut, keto is the way to go. Okay, keto and intermittent fasting is the way to go. Granted, your digestive system can handle it. Okay, and you could eat berries on keto, man. Okay, a handful of blackberries. I don't really get into blueberries that much because a lot of them have excess sugar. Because Esau has manipulated blueberries, and I'm not saying anything bad about blueberries, but they have more sugar than they did 10, 15 years ago. Okay, that's a fact. But I eat a lot of blackberries, maybe some raspberries, strawberries. Okay, so you can have fruits on keto, and I get something called stevia. Okay, which is a natural plant sweetener, and there's been a lot of studies that it's the safest sweetener of all. Okay, and it does not impact your blood sugar whatsoever. So if you get a sweet tooth, sprinkle a little bit of that on some berries, man. It'll taste like strawberry cheesecake or strawberry shortcake, man. Or if you want to get something like pecan flour or walnut flour or almond flour, okay, which I got all three. I'll put a scoop in all three when I make my bread, man. Okay, you can make bread, and it's actually very easy. You only get about a gram of carb, maybe 1.5 grams per slice, and it's got fiber, it's got vitamin E, it's got manganese, and all other kinds of vitamins and minerals, man, as well as healthy fats. Okay, as well as healthy fats, because that's what you do in ketosis, man. You use fat for energy, which that's your body's actual preferred fuel. Okay, back in ancient times, we were usually, I'm not going to say all the time, but we were usually in a state of ketosis because we fasted so much, and the foods that we eat did not have anywhere near the amount of sugar that they have now. Okay, and they didn't spike your blood sugar like they used to, the bread. So yes, we used to have ketones in our system most of the time, man. I'm not saying that we were in a deep state of ketosis all the time, but we were in it. We were in and out of it, okay? Versus now, when our main source of energy comes from carbohydrate, okay, which is addictive, okay, because sugar, the sugar plant is actually a cousin of the cocaine plant, okay? And it's just as addictive, if not more, okay? So we went from eating 50 to 100 grams of carbs a day, maybe even less, okay, to 300 to 500. So think about that, man. Think about that. We're literally destroying ourselves by eating all this crap. We're destroying ourselves. It's bad enough that we're living in a society and we're already destroyed pretty much. Why would you continue doing that? Okay? And one of the other benefits of going low sugar and intermittent fasting is the mental clarity. The mental clarity is there. Okay? It's there. It's there, man. You'll have a mental clarity unlike anything you've ever experienced. Okay? You will elevate with wisdom. You won't be saying stupid shit in a damn mood swing. Okay? You'll have a lot more control over your emotions because really that's that processed food and sugar stirring shit up. And when you stop making carbohydrates your main source of fuel, your body becomes more balanced because your blood sugar stays consistent. Okay? It stays pretty consistent, man. So I want to get this scripture here. Okay? 3 John 1 and 2. The elder unto the well beloved Gaius, whom I love in the truth. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. So John wanted Gaius, okay, which, in this case, Apostle Gabar was exhorting us to be in good health. Okay? Because it's just not enough for your soul to be prospering, man. Okay? That's the wisdom of the ancient, taking care of yourself. And you'll be surprised at how much that discipline carries into other things, including the truth. Including the truth. And that's what's most important. Okay? Now, am I saying that you need to be a health freak? No. You don't have to, man. But this shit where brothers been in the truth for years and they're still eating like fucking teenagers. Okay? And they're still eating like fucking teenagers. It's time to grow the fuck out of that, man, and start being adults. Okay? Because young adults, at least back in my day, they didn't eat like that. Men in their late 20s, early 30s, they didn't eat like they do now. Okay? Everything is nice and convenient. And people lack discipline now. They lack discipline now. Because you grew up with better habits back in the day. You got brothers in this truth that are eating fucking ramen noodles, man. Consistently. Stop that shit. Okay? Stop that shit. Now, you can't really have bananas on keto, but bananas, okay, you could get about 20 bananas for a couple dollars. There's no fucking excuse. Okay, there's no excuse. A dozen eggs. The eggs are coming down in price again, man. I just seen, there's dozen, you could get a dozen brown eggs, okay, for under $2. Now, when you go on a carbohydrate restrictive meal, even if you don't go on keto, even if you just cut your carbs in half, you won't be as hungry as often because your body will start using its own fat for fuel. Because that's really what it is, man. When you eat this processed food and you eat all that sugar, your body's just constantly looking for fuel, man. And you're constantly spiking your insulin levels, just like Apostle Gabar stated. Okay, and he's right on that. He's right on that. And now there are benefits to insulin. Okay, it's not all bad, but it's like a double-edged sword. Okay, too much insulin can cause organ damage. Alright, and it throws the body out of whack. Okay, but there are times when insulin is beneficial. You just try to eliminate those spikes. Alright? Sirach. Oops. Sirach 30 and 15. Health and good estate of body are above all gold. Okay? Now, I will say this. Walking is great. Okay? It's great, man. Especially when you do it consistently. Now, I would say that, me personally, the best, I got to give an honorable mention to squats. Okay? Squats can literally transform your health. Especially if you do body weight squats. Maybe 4 or 5 times a week. And then you do your normal with weights. Okay, so you have to combine the aerobic activity with the anaerobic activity because they're both beneficial but in different ways. Okay? And we're men. Don't be fucking afraid to get stronger, man. Don't be afraid of no strength training. Alright? Don't be afraid to go hard once in a while, man. And to really challenge yourself. Okay? Let that let that manliness come out and develop a more masculine energy. Okay? And start training with, and stop training with obviously when you start weight training, okay, or any kind of resistance training, whether you're using bands or whatever, obviously you should start with lighter weights and work on your form and try and do the exercise as well. That's most important. But eventually, man, you got to dial it up. Okay? Because the real benefits come from the 6 to 10 rep range. Okay? That's when the real benefits come, man. And you got to use a challenging weight once in a while, man. Okay? Don't be no sissy, man. Curling 20 or lifting 25-pound dumbbells. Damn, working out for years and you're still using them 25-pound dumbbells, man. All right? You have to progress. You can't just stagnate. And that's good for the sisters too, man. Strength training is good for the brain, man. It prevents Alzheimer's. Okay, it's good for dementia. It's good for the circulation. Okay, it helps your body clear waste. And it uses your body's muscle glycogen or sugar, man. So when you're in a fat burning state and you have ketones in your body will take your own body fat and produce it into sugar to refill the glycogen, man. Okay, and it'll prime your nervous system and everything. You'll just be more electric. Okay, because like Apostle Gabar says in the video, he said something along the lines of the body being a fascinating machine, how it all works together. Okay, there's a reason why nerves look like wires, man. Because they deliver electrical impulses. You see how the Most High does things? Anyways, let's get into the scripture. Sirach 30 and 15. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinity wealth. Okay? That's how important it is. That's how important it is to exhort brothers to start taking care of themselves, man. If you got a gut on you and your body stores fat in the gut, then you should go lower carbohydrate and intermittent fast and walk fasted. Okay? That's really the only way to get rid of it. If your body can't handle carbohydrates, it's going to store all that unused sugar and carbs in your gut. Okay, because it's where a lot of the insulin receptors are. Okay? Because your body tries to use insulin to shuttle the nutrients into the muscles and organs and so on and so forth. But if you're insulin resistant, it can't shuttle it properly, so it stores it in the gut. Okay, so it stores it in the gut. Verse 16, there is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. Death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness. And turning your health around will lift your spirit up, man. And you won't be getting sick all the fucking time. Okay? Because you got a lot of poison in your body that needs to get out. And you need to stop adding the poison. Okay? What does poison do? It gives you continual sickness. Even if you don't get an actual illness, okay, your body is not in its prime position, man. All right. But with that, I believe I've proved the point. You know, I could go on and on and on and on about this. But till next time, shalom. Hope y'all were edified.